Hello again. All right, preseason conditioning. I'm going to take this to kind of tie in some of the movements. We've done some feet. We did a lot of footwork. We found out can be easily uncoordinated with the timing of our feet, the way they tip together and articulate. So that's something to master. Work that all the time when you're just sitting in a chair. But so let's work on kind of tying the pelvis, core. We're going to be on our back with the legs up, and see if we could tie that foot movement, the knee movement, in kind of a leg raise. All right. So if you use something for support behind your back, that's okay. You want to keep posture, so don't let your back sag, and keep it nice and straight. You could even start up here. Okay, and so what we're doing is we're going to raise our legs up off the floor and draw your belly up into your solar plexus. Okay, and we're going to try to work these exercises with that muscle system, the core, engaged all the time. Okay, and we're going to try to use it to turn our legs rather than just use the leg to turn it. I'm going to use my core. You can hear it when I speak. I'm going to use my core, the belly and the muscles in our abdomen, and the pelvis, to assist in rotating the legs. Okay, so as you're copying me, I know you're following along and keeping those legs up. The ankles flex back, not all the way, not forward, but flex so they're engaged, gripped a little bit. Okay, the feet are strong. You even try to spread your toes out. Something to make your feet strong. We want to keep the feet parallel. Okay, keep the feet parallel, and the knees, the space between the knees and the feet. Okay, this shin bone angle, it's hard to see with the calf. The calf makes it look like it's A-frame. But if you look at the shin bones are parallel. Okay? So we want to keep the shin bones parallel. And then draw the feet, the knees to the side. Okay, if you draw the knees to the side, naturally the feet will extend out to the side. A very natural process. We're trying to isolate this movement from anything else. And use your core. See how you can flex your right ribs when your feet extend out to the right and your knees point for a left turn. And then draw it up a little further and come back. Okay, now we're going to extend the feet out and rotate by rotating the legs with our core. Use your ribs. Okay, this is just leg. This is just leg. Use your core, engage it to pull that out. Okay, engage the core and out. Okay, abdominals. Muscles in the front, either side of the belly button, up into the ribs, even into your pelvis. And just work it back and forth. And you're going to see that you're naturally creating, what do we call this? There's one leg's higher than the other. It's just a natural thing when we steer our legs. Okay? Very effective for skiing. Change your rhythm. Okay, so from here what we're going to do is we're going to involve the feet. Okay, if you need to take a break, take a break. Keep some pressure on it. I want to sustain the abdominal work. Okay, so if your feet are down, keep the abdominals gripped. Okay, and even if you're doing the exercises this way, that's okay too. We just want to keep the butt. We don't want to raise the cheek to do it. We're just going to the limits of motion of our legs. That's at the femurs in the hip socket without raising the hip. Okay, it's not really a lot of motion. We can get a lot going if we start rotating the hip on its mount, which is your sacrum and your spine, the lower spine. Okay, so we're just trying to work this range of motion with whatever legs will do without raising up the hips. Okay, so the feet, they tip as your knees point. So take your feet and tip them like the foot exercises. So when you tip them out to the side, your feet are going to engage edges. So we engage the edges of the feet on this side, and we engage the edges of the feet on this side. Engage, engage the edges. Engage the edges each time. And this needs to happen in time. Coordination with the feet parallel. You might find your feet are doing this, and that's what we want to solve here at home rather than in a ski lesson. Okay? So we want to solve this ability to move the feet parallel and in time, engaging edges, while we're steering with our knees. Okay? We're aiming our knees in a turn. Pull the abdomen in. If you need to break between each, we can change the edges and rest it in here. Take a little easier break. You can also sit up in a chair and do it as well. Okay? So the goal is to engage edges at this stage. Now we got 3 movements that the feet make. Okay? They can extend and flex for pressure management. They can create strength in our boot for edging. They actually cause edging. There's not a lot of movement. We can't do all this and all this in the boot, but we engage those muscle systems. They're going to affect the edges of our skis and the tips of our skis. Okay? And then the next is there is slight steering ability with the feet. And for coordination, I want to blend all 3 of those. Okay, so we're keeping the feet fairly flexed. We've tipped edges, and now we're gonna turn the feet a little bit more to steer them. Turn the feet a little bit more, and turn the feet a little bit more, and create this loopiness. Okay, so we're using the rest of that ability of the feet to turn. Okay, see if you can follow. You start here. Okay, so we want to be able to get this to happen with parallel feet and parallel legs. Okay, that's the idea. So I'm going to check that one out. I might do a whole nother video. Raise the camera up because you can't see me much. So that's the idea. If you can make that motion work fluidly, it's going to be a good motor skill for skiing. Okay, and you just got to practice it. You're watching TV, just kick back and do a few of these for 2 or 3 minutes. Okay, watch and make sure your feet stay parallel as they come across, and that your knees stay close together. It's easy to start let your knees come out because we're often weak in the groin. Okay, so some of the work is to drive this muscle here and this muscle here to get that fluidity to work. Alright, so book a level 3 instructor at your local ski resort and take a lesson on rotary. Tell them you want to learn how to use the rotary skills in your legs and your feet. It has some rotary skills, so that turning the foot a little extra, you can make some really fun skiing out of this movement pattern. Okay, so you don't have to be ripping down the hill, you're just bouncing over bumps and steering around things. It's a super fun way to ski when you have these motor skills. All right, peace to you. I hope you're in my area. You can book a lesson with me. Cheers.